Final race of the day in round 4 of the Century Batteries Australian GT Production Car Championship. This is the Procar Champ Series, and Luke Youlden will carry one of our onboard cameras, the other by Alan Holgerson in the Toyota Camry, who has been a real standout so far this season. A tough run in the last round at Lakeside. Different story here at Queensland. He'll start from row 2 alongside Richard Winston. Our race 1 winner, Scott Loadsman, is on pole for this one. Further back in E-Class, Carol Jackson is well placed. She'll start from position 9. Further back, Ben Driscoll. Rick Bates as well, who's gradually coming to terms with that Daihatsu Syrian. We haven't seen the best of that car, I don't think, at this point in time. The plain white Commodore, the brand new entry in the hands of Scott Loadsman. He debuted it in fine style at the last round at Lakeside, took pole and cleaned up. What can Holgerson do? He was third in the opening race of the day behind Brian Carr. Away we go. Good start by all of them. Winston getting a rip up. Further back through the field, so too Darryl Kuhn. But the man who will lead them, he's getting a bit of a push and shove into turn 1 though. That's Brian Carr. The push and shove coming from Winston. But Scott Loadsman muscles into second position as they head through turn 1 for the first time. Steve Betts.
Yeah, fantastic to see Richard Winston so far up the field at this weekend. He's running 4th place, and this is the best effort we've seen by Richard Winston. You can see he's now out there in the 4th position and coming around the outside. Looked like Darryl Kuhn in the Falcon, but a great race once again at the front of the field. Brian Carr getting away from Loadsman. Looks like Holgerson is in 3rd place, and Winston's still holding that 4th place as we head into turn 3. Under brakes, it's Brian Carr still in the lead with Loadsman right behind him.
Gee, got a ripper of a start. We should also welcome to the commentary box a man who's had a pretty busy day today. He's been campaigning successfully in the V8 Brute Series. Had a win in race 2. Damien White, great to have you with us.
Thanks, Rusty. It wouldn't have been so busy if it wasn't for Paul Morris, the dude. The dude is...
Now, no sour grapes, no sour grapes.
No, I welcome him to our class. It can only be good for the category as far as it's
a few of them having a few moments here. Darryl Kuhn going off. Looks like McElroy may have had a moment coming into that turn as well. And profiting from that in E-Class, can you believe it? Luke Youlden is up against the might of the 6-cylinder and V8 cars, and the little Holden Astra has managed to get past them. So, capitalising on someone else's problems, Scott Loadsman onto the front straight once again, but he's trying to hunt down Brian Carr, and I think Brian Carr is determined to get a bit of parity happening here in terms of the race results. We've had a Holden win to kick the day off. Maybe it's time for a Ford one.
Yeah, it certainly it looks like that, Rusty, and it would be great to get the Ford up there in front. And these guys are working extremely hard on this car to keep it up the front of the field. Brian Carr doing an excellent job in driving. And have a look at this for a battle. It looks like we had it was Doxy actually on the outside of Russell. If Class E honours, those guys are going hammer and tong and door handle to door handle. We still see them come around onto the back straight, side by side.
And as we mentioned before, turn 1 being as quick as the corner is, that's a brave move to stick yourself on the outside there. You can certainly head the trouble. If you hit the dirt, we saw what happened to Jim McKinnon at Phillip Island. When you rip in the dirt, you flip over and do all sorts of nasty things. So that's pretty brave action there.
Rick Bates was one guy who got sideways coming into turn 2, and if anyone could handle going sideways or getting onto the dirt, it's Rick Bates, a successful rally campaigner who's splitting his racing duties this year in 3 different areas. We'll team up with Cameron McConville for the V8 races at both Queensland and Bathurst. He's campaigning for Daihatsu in the new Syrian in this series, and is also rallying a Subaru, so not much spare time for Rick Bates.
They're busy boys, the Bates brothers, and doing great efforts. This battle is still continuing between Carol Jackson and Doxy. It's starting to spread out a little bit now, but the leader in the category, Luke Youlden, has got about a 100-metre lead on these guys coming up through the infield of the racetrack. But look at the 2 Protons almost running in tandem right behind this pair.
Papa George in the background there, and he's battling away with another Proton Satria in the hands of David Russell, the Caltex Havilland entry. We jump aboard with Alan Holgerson up ahead of him.
The Chook's looking a little unsettled there, Rusty.
Isn't it?
Do you think that...
He leans over a little bit through the corners there, Damien.
He's playing corners.
Oh, look out. Brian Carr's gone very wide there. That was obviously some understeer or something happening in the Falcon there. Damien, did you pick that one up there as he going around turn 2?
I don't think that was understeer. It's just probably looking in the mirror. I've been sucked in with doing the same thing there myself. As you start to turn into turn 2, you have a quick look in the mirror. Is there anyone else behind me? You miss the turn in, Mark. You're going to hit those marbles and do exactly what he did just then. Cost himself the lead.
Your Loadsman now into first place, and I tell you what, that's done a lot of favours for Holgerson. Let's have a look and see if he can get around Brian Carr as they head down through this infield part of the circuit. He's in the right spot and he's on the right side, guys. Alan Holgerson's going to take second place away from Brian Carr.
And that's a fantastic job in his grandma's car, and as I've already commented a couple of times this year...
You don't mind giving it to him, do you?
I'm sure he can take it. He's doing a fantastic job. As I said before, I won't be heading down to Bill Buckle to buy a Toyota Camry tomorrow, but that's a good job to do that. But Brian Carr has been a little bit upset by that mistake he made earlier in this lap and showed that it's cost 2 positions now. He's just got to control himself.
That's a good point you make too, because one mistake on one particular corner can really slow your whole momentum up and affect you in other parts of the circuit, as we've clearly seen.
Well, sure, Ken, but that's where the standout drivers come in. As we see Carol Jackson, what a shame. I'm a big fan of hers. I don't know if you've picked that up, but... obviously some dramas. We might get some feedback from the pits. What's actually wrong there?
Well, that's a shame. It's a good family-run effort, that by Carol Jackson and her crew, and she put on a really good run at Lakeside Raceway at the previous round in the Civic. The Honda Civic was certainly looking good at Queensland. Can they do anything to stop this man? Scott Loadsman in the lead and in command once again. We've seen that at Lakeside. Carol Jackson returns to the circuit, so whatever gremlin may have crept in the Honda Civic, hopefully they've got it sorted. Here's Martin Doxey in the Bilstein Holden Vectra. He's doing a good job.
Doing a fantastic job. He's having a quiet race out there, but knowing how hard it is to actually get a sponsor to go motor race. I mean, I'm lucky enough that I've got Quirks Refrigeration on board, but I'll come back to that. I can't believe this is a Toyota Camry
vying for the lead
against a VX SS Commodore.
Fantastic stuff. I tell you, this is a great credit to Toyota, the way this car performs and the way Alan Holgerson is driving it. To be able to take it up to these guys in the V8s and the bigger 6-cylinder cars, what a wonderful effort it is by both parties, the driver and the manufacturer, to have this car so...
Oh, Jackson, the front left has parted company with the car. Maybe that's what they were checking the last time around.
Can't you just hear it? She's come in the pits and said to her crew, there's a prop.
There you go,
hang on.
wheel.
This is shades of Canberra's V8 supercar round, isn't it?
Not as pretty ending, but no... Carol's obviously come in, complained about a problem with the car, and I can just hear it. The crew's saying, no, it's all right. You've got to listen to the driver knows, I'm telling you.
Well, on his way home is this man, Scott Loadsman. Holgerson has been unable to get past him. Oh no, we've got a fire here at Queensland Raceway, and Carol Jackson straight onto it as well. The heat from those brakes, with the car leaning at that sort of angle, has obviously ignited the grass. And very promptly, she's put it out.
She's handled that very well, hasn't she?
I tell you what, that's just fantastic. I mean, not only can this lady really drive a race car, but she's got her head screwed on to know exactly what to do in a really pressurised situation there. Her car had the chance there to burn to the ground, and she's got the fire extinguisher straight out, knows how to use it, put the fire out. Well done, Carol. That's sensational.
For me, it's not the fact that she knew what to do. I mean, it's the way she handled herself in doing it. No panic, just, okay, there's a bit of a fire, I know where the extinguisher is, and a lot of drivers could learn from that just control yourself, and in a situation like that, you'll find the right answer.
Controlled aggression for Scott Loadsman. He takes out the second race of the day in round 4 of the Century Batteries Championship, and a big cheer also for Alan Holgerson in the Toyota Camry. He bounces back with a vengeance after all those dramas at Lakeside, spinning at quite high speed, and good valuable points in the bag for him and the Bill Buckle Toyota team. McElroy coming across the line. Not a stronger showing this weekend from Rob Chadwick as we thought we might see. And Daryl Kuhn as well recovers from that earlier incident where he ran wide coming through the horseshoe.
And here comes Luke Yulden, Greg, in the first place in Class E. Fantastic for the hippies category for this Holden of Luke Yulden, the Astra, sponsored by Castrol and Holden, to take first place in Class E, followed by Doxey in the little Vectra, and right behind them will be our first of the Protons, which is...
Carmen Papagorge.
Well, come on, Papagorge did well there. And the officials quickly check out Carol Jackson's car. The fire's been extinguished. Loadsman is your winner on the Century Battery scoreboard from Holgerson, just half a second in it in the end. Brian Carr in third. McElroy a good effort in fourth from Chadwick and Daryl Kuhn. We go further back. Kimon Papagorge finished ninth, just ahead of David Russell. Megan Kirkham finishes in 11th. Let's go down to the pits.
Scott Loadsman, you just can't beat the VX around Queensland Raceway, can you?
No, it's a good thing, mate. Lakeside with a brand new car and then here today, 2 wins from 2 starts. It's a good effort.
I think you've already got these Ford boys out psyched. They know you're going to get quicker and they know that theirs aren't going to get any quicker.
Yeah, I think we played with a bit of setup on the weekend, and that's true because it's a new car, and every time we do some adjustments, it settles in nicely and it's reacting to what we're doing. So yeah, it's going really well.
Well, in first position for Class D, it's the Camry kid, Alan Hodgson. Well done. Bit better than last round at Lakeside.
Absolutely. We had a bit of a shocker at Lakeside, but pulled it off this round. Good to come back. All the guys, Bill Buckle, Toyota, Castro, all of my work guys, they've really pulled it together, and we're back.
All too easy for Class E Victor Luke Yulden in your little holder, mate. Well done.
Yeah, it was a very good weekend, Grant. We had pole and 2 race wins, so yeah, it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
Your Bathurst boss and co-driver Larry Perkins must be pretty happy and Holden as well about the performance that you're putting in the lead up to Bathurst.
Yeah, I'm sort of in there just to keep my eye in, you know, keep doing something, and Holden has sort of been generous and given us an asterisk for that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
He's a competitive fella, Luke Yulden, and it's certainly helping him in terms of the championship in C-Class. Brian Carr with a 3-point margin over Scott Loadsman. John McElroy in third. Darryl Coon's margin has been reduced, though, in Class D over Rob Chadwick and Alan Holgerson. There he is, Luke Yulden, on top in Class C. 20 points the margin over Ben Driscoll. Then it's David Russell and Martin Doxey. Craig?